Hello everybody and welcome to week 3 of my 6-week yoga course. Hopefully you've got your mat ready and maybe a block if you have one, or a blanket, cushion, anything to help you relax at the end. So today you can start lying down, get yourself comfortable. Again, the blanket or cushion is useful for that. Make sure you can try to relax to begin with and focus on the present moment and arrive on your mat. So just get comfortable, check in with how you're feeling, the usual check in, how we're feeling physically, any aches and pains to be aware of, and how you're feeling emotionally. And whatever it is, it's all good. This is your safe space, this is your yoga practice. Often like to think arriving on the mat as being, my space of safety where I can just completely be myself. So come to the breath, notice your breath, whatever it's doing. And today and this week in my yoga classes, we've been, our sort of thought for the yoga practice has been to try to check in with our egos a little bit and maybe have a go at letting go of our egos. Often when we think of the word ego, we think of the I and ourselves, if you like. But it often has negative connotations. People, if you have too much ego, or you're got a big ego or egocentric, it often means you think about yourself a lot and maybe not so much about other people. Self-important. So looking after yourself is important, and we often talk about it in yoga. Self-love, self-care, that's what we're doing right now. But obviously there can be too much of anything, and if you have too much self-absorption, I guess, to the point where you're being fairly obsessed with how you are and how you appear to other people, then that's when the ego's kind of got out of control. It's got too much power. So it's often good to try and get that in check and just think, why am I doing this? And things do not have to be perfect all the time. Often our minds, or maybe our egos, can tell us all sorts of messages and things that are not necessarily true. So sometimes it can be quite unkind. It can be, you've got to look a certain way. We're getting these messages from different angles, especially social media, but also our peers. We think we need to achieve certain things and have a certain level of perfection in our house, hence, yeah, I've tidied away a few things to clear the deck, so I haven't got washing everywhere and dog toys and things like that. I've done it as well. Why? Again, I don't know. I guess it's my ego. Egos tap into our fears of worrying what people think, fears of not being in control, fears of what people think about us, fears of failing, fears of not being good enough. So all these things that are on our minds all the time, which if we could let go of those a little bit, we could feel so much happier and feel so much more in control of our lives, rather than these other messages taking control. But it's easier said than done. But if we can try and just tap into it every now and again and recognize when our egos have got that big loud voice, then maybe we can let go a little bit. So that's the aim this week, maybe. So in our classes, we're trying to be a bit more freer with our movements, trying not to worry if we wobble, if we don't do everything right, if we fall over, if we don't look a certain way, or heaven forbid, if we pass wind. I always think that's brilliant if people are really letting go enough to be able to do that in class, because that's, really letting go. Anyway, I will stop talking and we're going to start some movement now. So we're going to start by hugging in our knees and just giving ourselves a nice hug. So starting with some self-love, conversely, and just having a little rock, getting in touch with our bodies, which is never a bad thing, as long as we're trying to listen to our true selves, our authentic selves, rather than just messages from other people and other sources which are informing how we feel we should be. So just some gentle rocks, massaging the back. Maybe some knee circles, massaging the lower back, and change direction. Beginning to bring the arms into the movement, mobilizing the wrists, shoulders, elbows, and breathe. At any point, you can always tap into the Ujjayi breath that we tried last week. The ocean breath. Great place to do it at any point in your practice, but okay, and we are going to rock our way up to a seated position. So you can either rock onto your side first, or you can rock up, however's comfortable. And once you're there, again, you can sit. In fact, we're going to extend the legs first of all. We're going to extend the legs and just take behind our knees and just roll the shoulders here. Take some nice shoulder rolls. Trying to sit up nice and tall. Nourish ourselves with a nice long breath. Another direction. Then we're going to make it a bit more dynamic. We're going to hug in and open our chest, squeezing our shoulders, maybe lifting the head a bit here. And exhale, going to extend the arms and round the back as much as we can. And inhale in. Exhale, round. So a bit of like cat-cow, but seated. Inhale. Open the chest, squeeze the shoulders. Exhale, extend the arms round the back. Round, let the head round as well. Inhale. Go at your own pace. One more. Okay, lovely. You can cross the legs now if that's comfortable to do so, or you can kneel. We're just going to inhale and bring our left arm up and then bend it at the elbow and see where we can touch. Maybe it's the back of our head, maybe it's the top of our back. Maybe use the other hand just to increase the stretch here. Take an inhale, sit nice and tall. And exhale, release. We're going to take the same arm, the left arm across, helping it with the right hand, but just plug the socket back in, the shoulder back into the socket, should I say. Little wiggle of the fingers here. Nice stretches. And then take the same arm, the left arm behind us, and find your right hand to just gently ease it across, opening the shoulder here. And release other arm. So right arm comes up, stretch, and then bend at the elbow. Seeing if you can touch your upper back. If you feel you have to bend to get there, just back of your head's fine. Maybe encourage it with the other hand. Enjoy breathing into these stretches. Release. Take the same arm across the body, helping it with the left hand, but draw the shoulders back so we're nice and square. Joints still stacked. Wiggle the fingers, maybe a little wrist rotation. Release and send that arm behind you, taking your left hand and just helping it across. So kind of like this. Awesome. Release. We're going to come into tabletop. All fours, spread the fingers, stack the joints, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees, and just start some gentle movement. I want you to decide what feels good with your body whenever you're doing this practice. Maybe start with some rotations or rocks either side. Some people like to find a figure of 8 with their hips. Allowing the head to relax, maybe close the eyes and really tune in, not worrying what it looks like, whether it's right or wrong. Really trying to turn your yoga practice into something that is really tuned into you. And once you can do that, find out what your body needs, then that can really help. Maybe a little rock from side to side. You can always move the fingertips to face the outside, see how that feels, getting a deeper stretch in our wrists. Or maybe even rotating until the fingertips face the knees. Maybe a rock backwards and forwards. Just warming up the wrists. You can always have a blanket under the knees if there's any work on our knees today that doesn't feel good. Or even come into cat-cow here. A couple more breaths. Or a deep child's pose. Breathe. Okay, lovely. Going to just walk forward slightly, so I'm at the top of my mat, so I can extend my left foot back and feel a nice deep stretch down the back of that leg. Stretch it out. Option here to take the toes behind the right and look over your right shoulder towards your left foot. Feeling a stretch down the left side of our body. Big breath. Come back to center. We're going to keep the left foot backwards and pivot on our right knee, planting down with our right hand and lifting our left hand up, coming into a supported side plank. Inhale and reach up. Roll the shoulder back. Open up, trying to find as much space as we can here. And exhale, bring it down, come back to tabletop. Extend the right foot back. Feel the stretch down our hamstring, our calves. Lovely. Slide the toes, if you like, to the left of the mat. Maybe it comes off the mat. Look over your left shoulder at your right foot, getting that side stretch. Slide the toes back on the mat. Keep the leg long. Pivot on your left knee now, bringing it out as a kickstand. Left hand down, right hand all the way up. Inhale, open up here, reach with the fingertips. Open, open, open. And exhale, bring it down. Coming back to tabletop, going to walk the hands out to the top of the mat and come into puppy pose, where our hips are still high, but we melt down, a bit like child's pose, but hips nice and high. Take a couple of breaths here. Exhale, melt down. Maybe your forehead comes to the mat. Maybe it comes to a block if you can't come as low. Really stretching the arms out and breathing nice and deep here. If you're feeling got good flexibility in your shoulders, maybe you can bring your chin to the mat and look up. Wherever you are breathing, that's quite an intense stretch. Or if you prefer child's pose, if that feels better for you, that's good too. One more breath. And then slide the hands in. I'm going to come to, in fact, just come up on knees a moment, just roll. Roll the arms out, roll the wrists out. Walk them forwards, we'll be coming into down dog. So tuck the toes, lift the knees, keep them nice and bent, draw your hips backwards, weight backwards through your heels. Just trying to stay nice and low to begin with, bend the knees. And as you extend the legs, sending the hips a little bit higher, maybe pedal. Breathe, maybe you tap into the Ujjayi breath here. Using the breath just to lower, maybe belly to thighs a bit more. Relax the head. Try a bit of yes and no with the head. Okay, look forward to your hands and then tiptoe your feet to our hands coming into a fold. Bend the knees. Maybe add a little sway here. You can always hold onto your elbows and start a little sway. Rocking, swaying. Feels good. Relaxing the upper body and the head. Relax the arms, bend the knees, roll up slowly. Inhale, inhale. Tucking the chin, head up last. Inhale all the way up with the arms. Reach and exhale, bring our hands down, prayer position, and just take a moment in our mountain pose. Checking in with your feet. You can either close your eyes or just find a focal point here. I like to just have a bit of up and down on my feet, spreading them out, really nestling them in, seeing if I can feel all four corners of my feet, spreading my awareness down. Little bend in the knees. Just check our pelvis is slightly tucked here, chin slightly tucked, rising to the crown of our heads. Hands can be in prayer or you can bring them to your sides. Taking a moment in this strong mountain pose. My dog's just started snoring, so apologies if you can hear him. Okay, from here we're just going to begin to roll the arms, roll the shoulders, and just bend the knees and just loosen up a little bit. Often when we get into standing, you know, I like a bit of an arm swing just to loosen things up. So just want you to choose what swings and arm swings you like here. So you can either take a little twist, moving the whole body, allowing the knees, oops, came off the mat there, and the feet to follow, so we're not just static. Maybe the arms come up high, maybe you reach. So in our class this week, I was really trying to encourage people to be creative, explore their bodies, almost dance-like. If you want to try some spirals, maybe hang down low and allow our arms to swing. Sometimes it's quite nice to allow them to sort of go into circles. Or swing, bend the knees and swing your arms like a monkey. Feel free, relaxed, loose. And again, keeping that ego in check and not worrying what it looks like, even if someone can see you doing this. Just think, it's all right, it's fine, it's good. Don't care what they think. Okay, we're going to send our right arm, we're going to have a nice little swing with the right arm, then we're going to send it all the way up and over and see if we can come all the way down, bending at the knees, all the way up and all the way down, seeing how that feels. You can send the other arm as well, kind of spiraling windmiller arms. Quite like this one for just freeing things up, coming as low or as not low as you like. Maybe your fingertips touch the ground. Breathe. And we're just moving. That's all we're doing. Not overthinking it or overcomplicating it. Okay, lovely. So remember, you can do this at any point. Make a dance with it. Shake things out. Any point in the day. Wherever you are. At work, home, in a queue. Go for it. How much can you tell that ego to bog off and not worry? Okay, we're going to inhale, bring the arms all the way up for one big stretch. And we're going to exhale and we're just going to sigh it out. So we're going to and just lean over, allow the arms to flop down, flop, flop, flop. Allow them to dangle, dangle. And then roll up. One more, inhale up. Exhale, relax. And just kind of a gentle fold. Try and spiral the arms. Allow them to create circles. And then the other direction. But you choose what feels good. Okay, rolling back up. Beautiful. Hope you feel just a bit more relaxed now, holding less tension. We're going to come to the tops of our mats now. And we're going to do a little sequence, a little flow. So inhale, bring the arms all the way up. Exhale, we're going to fold. So sweep the arms down. Haven't got quite enough space here. Down we go. Bring the fingertips to the floor or to a block. Bend the knees. Inhale, slide up to a half lift. Number 7 shape. Roll the shoulders back. Inhale here, long neck. Exhale, bend in the knees and sweep the arms forwards. We're going to come into chair. Just a brief chair. Tuck the pelvis a little bit here. And exhale, we're going to sweep the arms back and step back with our left foot coming into warrior 1. Pelvis facing the front of the mat, strong back leg, 45-degree angle, bend in the front knee. Inhale up with the arms, or they can stay down if you prefer. Exhale, we're going to cactus the arms, squeeze the shoulders. Bring our hands down to our hips and fold here. We're going to fold over the front knee. And then inhale up. Step in with the back leg. Straighten both legs, coming into pyramid legs. And again, fold. Drawing the navel in a little bit here. Take an inhale to lengthen our whole back and neck, and exhale, fold. Inhale up. Exhale, fold until you can come down wherever feels okay for you. If you want a little micro bend in that front knee, you may do that if that feels better. Maybe your hands can come down to a block, or if you've got a book or anything around, or to the floor, or stay on our hips. So we're going to have a little go at a warrior 3, so that's why it's quite useful to have a block somewhere to put our fingertips on. Going to have a go at bending in the front knee and lifting the back toes up. So just seeing where they come to, lift the back toes up. Oh, I'm feeling very wobbly this morning, not a good example. Take your time, Emma. So we're in our pyramid legs. We've got our fingertips on a block, whichever angle helps you. Get your balance before lifting the toes up. Seeing where they come to. Maybe they only come a little off the ground today. That's what's suiting me. Maybe they come all the way up. Drawing the navel in, trying to keep your hips square. Maybe a little micro bend in that supported leg if it feels better for you. Maybe taking the fingertips off the block, coming into warrior 3, whichever version of it is best for you. If you've got 2 blocks, even more support. And when you're ready and had enough of that, we're going to step back with that left foot again, coming back into warrior 1. Tuck the pelvis slightly, draw the navel in. Inhale up with the arms, bend in the front knee. Exhale, cactus the arms, squeeze open the chest, and bring the hands behind us to our lower back, or interlace the fingertips, squeeze the shoulders. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Humble warrior. Next exhale, release the fingertips, bring your hands to the floor. We're going to step back into a plank. So find a plank of your choice, either full plank or half plank. Wherever you are, drawing the navel in. One more breath before you either chaturanga or knees, chest, chin down to the ground. Inhale for cobra or baby cobra, whatever back bend feels okay. Exhale, ripple back down. Tuck the toes. We will be coming back into a downward facing dog. So roll back through. Either find down dog or stay in a tabletop if you prefer, or even go into a child's pose. Take a couple of breaths wherever you are. Relax the head. Long body, long back. And then look forward to your hands. Walk the feet forwards. Inhale, come up to a half lift. Squeeze the shoulders. Gaze at the floor. And exhale, bend in the knees, sweeping the arms up, coming into chair. Weight through the back of your heels. Exhale, come back down. Going to step back with the right foot this time. into warrior one. Again, so the right foot's back. Bend in the front knee. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, cactus the arms. Bring your hands back down to your hips. Then we're going to step the back foot in, straighten both legs, coming into pyramid. So inhale, lengthen, tuck the chin. Exhale, hinge from the hip, fold. Do it incrementally if that feels better. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. See where you come to, hands on hips, or maybe they come down to the ground or to a block. Wherever we are, put a little bend into our front knee. Get some stability. Find a block or fingertips to the floor. And we're going to have a go at lifting the back toes off the ground. Seeing if we can come into warrior three. But if they just come off the ground a little bit, that's fine too. Use the block if you've got one, or a book or a whatever you've got around, and see if you've got, find whatever warrior three feels good. Draw the navel in when you're there, nice long back. See what balance you can find before stepping back with the right foot and coming back into warrior one. Pelvis facing the front. Straight back leg, bent left leg. Inhale up with the arms. Exhale, squeeze, cactus the arms. Squeeze the shoulders. Bring the hands to our lower back or interlace the fingers behind our back. Open the chest. Look up. And exhale, hinging from the hip. Drawing the navel in. Bowing down to humble warrior. Really gripping with the feet on the floor. Inhale, lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Release the hands, bring them to the mat. Step back to plank or half plank. You choose, wherever you are, drawing the navel in, long neck. One more breath. Either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga down to the floor, onto our bellies. Come up to whichever back bend suits you. Take an inhale and exhale, ripple down. We're just going to bring our hands in front of us, create a pillow. Bring our forehead to our hands and rock our hips out. Just checking in with our lower back here. Okay, slide the hands underneath your shoulders, tuck the toes. I'm going to roll back. Just find a little child's pose for a moment. Just pause in child's pose, finding a child's pose that feels okay for you. So either arms extended or arms alongside you. Take 3 breaths. Big full breaths filling up our bellies, rib cage. And exhale, soften. Maybe your forehead's on a block or a cushion. It's worth taking time when you're not following the video to find a nice child's pose that feels good for you. I've been known to have all sorts of bolsters, cushions, blankets, and just be relaxing over the top of it all. Depends on the day, depends how much support I feel I need. One more big breath. And then slide the hands under, rolling back up, maybe to a kneeling position, or maybe you want to sit on your bottoms. Just going to do a little swimming arm. I call it swimming arms anyway. Just to open up the shoulders again. We're going to inhale and bring the arms all the way to the side, flip the palms and bring them up, up, up. And then keep them going, cross the hands over to touch either the back of our heads or our upper back. So similar to what we were doing when we started, but with double arms this time. And then inhale up, palms facing up. When we get to the side, palms facing down. See if you can touch your lower back. And just repeat. Inhale up. Exhale down. Feeling it really open in our shoulders. Might feel a few clicks going on, that's fine. And if you feel like you have to touch your lower back, like collapse down or bend your knee, bend your head, just stay with the, try and keep an upright position. Open the shoulders here, but still drawing the navel in a little bit. Last one. Okay, gorgeous. So now we're just going to do a little hip flexor stretch, little flow for the last little bit of the practice. So we're going to walk back to sort of like shuffle back to a tabletop position. We're going to take our left knee and help it through. So our left foot, should I say, so our right knee is behind us and our left knee is in this sort of low lunge position. You can have a little rock backwards and forwards when we get here, just beginning to stretch into our hips and all the different joints that are being flexed here. And then we're going to lift the left toes and just sit back until we find a nice stretch in our left leg. Maybe fold here a little bit. If you've got long legs, you might want to shuffle your heel out a little bit. Don't need to sit all the way back, just until we get that stretch. One more breath. Staying on our fingertips. And then rebend that left knee and just shuffling back with the right knee a little bit, just trying to get really nice and deep into this lunge. We're going to bring our hands to the right side of our left foot and shuffle, like heel toe our left foot to the left side of the mat. So we're coming into lizard. If you want to just ease into it, a little bit of rocking, opening up our hips, having a good stretch. You might want to come down onto your forearms if you've got that flexibility, or stay up, or even stay on blocks if you want to be a bit more upright, if that's enough. All sorts of options. One more breath. Okay, come up a little bit here. We're going to take our left hand on the inside of our left knee and just open up here, looking over our left shoulder, opening up. Not just in our hips, but also our shoulder. Take a little smile, whatever you're looking at, wherever your gaze is coming to. See some birds flying through the sky. And see my sleeping dog, not snoring now. And then come back to center. We're going to bring the left foot over to the right side of the mat now. And tuck it in a little bit here, coming into pigeon. So take a moment to get into your version of pigeon that feels okay for you. You can always have a blanket or something underneath your left glute to make sure we're not wobbling down. Square hips and stay upright for a moment if you can for an inhale. And exhale, begin to fold, recline, pigeon. Take some deep breaths here. Maybe sliding the right toes back a little bit further, and really use the breath to let go of any tension. You can always have your forehead on a block or to the ground, or create a pillow with your hands. 2 more breaths. Flexing in the left foot as well, keeping that active. Lovely. And then we're going to support ourselves back upright, so not too long today. And option here, if you wanted to bend in the right leg, bend the right knee, maybe taking one hand and the other to see if you can reach that. Just a little go at sort of feeling what a king pigeon begins to feel like. And then we're going to slide the left knee back, slide the right knee forwards, so our knees are now crossed underneath us, and have a little rock backwards and forwards. Keeping your body weight forwards if you want to take the pressure off your knees, but if they can, feeling strong, you can sit back into cow face pose for a moment. Maybe bring the arms up and down, and then walk the hands forwards. We're going to take the right, unhook the feet now. That's it, lovely. And we're going to bring the right foot forwards and send the left knee back. So coming into a lunge, a low lunge on the other side now. We get to stretch out our left leg after it's been tucked up in pigeon. So a nice little rock backwards and forwards. You can be up on a block if you prefer to be a bit more upright here. Just easing out and seeing how low we can go, but just don't force anything. Just go with your body. Maybe here shuffling the right heel forwards to get a deeper stretch. And then when you're ready, lift those right toes, straighten the right leg. Take a long inhale and exhale, just fold here. Really flexing this foot, stretching the toes. One more breath. And then rebend in your right knee and bring your hands to the left side of your right foot. Ease ourselves into lizard. You might want to shuffle a bit deeper into it, just shuffling that knee back ever so slightly and seeing where you want to come to. Either stay on your hands or come down to your forearms. One side might be easier than the other. Long back, long neck. One more breath. And then coming back up onto your hands, open, bring your right hand to your inside of your right knee and open up here. Maybe the foot lifts up as well and look over your right shoulder, getting a bit of a twist here. Remember, you can have something under your knees if you're getting any knee pain. Blankets, good. One more breath. Deep stretch down through all our hip flexors. And then we are going to shuffle our right foot to the left side of the mat, draw it in a little bit here and begin to sink down into pigeon. So you can have the bigger the angle in your knee here, there's sort of greater flexibility, the bigger the stretch. But if you feel yourself wobbling down to achieve that, just tuck it in a little bit more. And also pop something underneath your right glute to make sure we've got our weight evenly distributed. Maybe just send the left toes back a smidgen more. Take a big inhale here, puff the chest out like a pigeon, and exhale. Come down. However low you want to, use the block or a cushion. 3 big breaths. Flex the right foot. Breathe through any discomfort, but if there's sharp pains, just ease out of it. You can even just come into a child's pose. Or just lie on your bellies. Listen to your body and what it's trying to tell you. Don't force anything. Really big breath. And then slowly support yourself back upright. Option here to bend in the left knee. Make sure you're nice and stable in your hands, spreading the fingertips. Maybe seeing if you can touch your left foot with either hand, drawing it in a bit if you want, just having a little play with it, or just come straight out. Oops, noisy dog. And then slide your right knee backwards, sliding your left knee behind it. Cow face pose with the legs, easing backwards and forwards. Sending right foot to the edge of the mat and left foot to the edge of the mat. Maybe coming low and just that's where you want to be. That might be enough of a stretch, or you can always come up Just seated here, maybe bring the arms all the way up, maybe to the tops of our backs. And then walk our hands forwards. Slide, you can uncross the knees here and just come into a down dog to stretch out. Spread the fingertips. Inhale and exhale. Pedal the legs. Add any movement you need. Relax the head, the neck. Deep inhale, side out to the mouth. One more. Side out. And then we're going to walk the feet in a little bit here. Maybe come into a little bit of a squat. We will be sitting down at this point. If you want a little cheeky squat to add in there, feel free to just find a little squat for as long as you want before coming down to your bottoms and sitting in whatever position is comfortable for you. Just before we do the relaxation, the shavasana at the end, in our classes, the other thing, I'm going to stretch my legs out, actually, feel free to do the same. We've been having a go at also little mantras and chants, if you like, and having a go at connecting with our voices and using our voices to resonate and vibrate through our bodies. We did the bee breath last week. Some of us did the bee breath last week, where we're really using the vibrations to relax, send soothing signals around the body. But we're going to have a go at the Om chant to finish with today. Again, really great at creating this sense of peace and calm. Even just because we're extending, it helps us, any breath like that helps us extend our exhale. And in a culture where we're just like inhale, inhale, inhale all the time, we want to take in more, we put more on our plates and take it all in, do more. Sometimes it's that exhale just helps us to really relax and surrender, if you like, release. Also, Om is the universal sound and helps us connect with the universe. So I like to have my palms facing up here for some connection. If you're doing this in a room with other people, helps you connect with other people. So Om is a great sound to connect with nature, with the world. Try doing an Om outside the next time you're in nature and just notice the feelings. And remember, really importantly here, doesn't matter what it sounds like, what pitch it is, what the quality of your voice is. If you have a voice crack halfway through, it ain't about that. It's not a performance. It's about the resonance. It's about the feeling it gives you and what it's helping us connect with. So we're going to do 3 Oms, and then I'm going to do 3 Om Shantis, which means peace. So you can join in at whatever point you like. Okay. Close your eyes. Sit nice and tall. Relax the shoulders. Relax the face. Get ready. I'm going to take a deep inhale together. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Just sit with the feeling for a moment. Notice if it's changed at all, if you feel calmer, maybe a bit tingly. And just keep this sense of calm as you begin to lower yourself into a position, whatever that is, for Shavasana. Making sure you don't skip this part. It's the most important part of the practice. Don't often have this opportunity during the day to relax and just be with ourselves. So a few minutes, maybe 5 if you can. So begin to get comfortable, add any layers, extra layers on, and lie down on the mat. Whatever's comfortable for you though, so if you want to bend in the knees, that's fine too. I'm going to read out a little visualization to you. So as you lie down, just notice your breath. Always come back to the breath. If your thoughts begin to wander, which they will, then have a go at this visualization. Imagine a train passing by, and each carriage represents a single thought. I want you to think about what thoughts are coming up for you. What thoughts make you feel good? What thoughts make you feel bad? And use this visualization to filter your important thoughts from your unimportant thoughts. Your positive, compassionate, and helpful thoughts from your negative and unhelpful ones. And just picture yourself standing outside watching this train go by. And as every carriage passes, see your thoughts written on the outside in text, maybe label them. Practice observation without judgment. Watching without boarding the train, without attachment. Because you are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are not your body. You are not your possessions. You are not your job title. You are so much deeper than this. You are the observer, and you can choose if and when you board the train. You are not the train. So just continue to breathe, watching the train and your thoughts pass by, and letting them go on their way. Don't get on the train. I'm going to leave you with this visualization, with this idea. You stay as long as you need. And just see if you can find other times during the week to watch the train, not getting on the train. Or maybe finding time to move freely, to dance, to be creative with your moves, to move like you love yourself, maybe to sing. Stay as long as you like. Namaste.